Hey, what's up? This is Nick with Landshark Lifestyle, and today we're going to be talking about goals. Goals. So, to first start off, I just wanted to kind of share some of my goals, go over what I do for making goals and how that happens, and then kind of go into where my goals have changed, why they've changed, how you guys can make your goals, and why changing your goals is going to happen and why it's important, and kind of how to do that. So just kind of an overview about goals, as well as using my own personal kind of experience with setting goals and helping you guys out a little bit. So to start off, if you know me, I'm sure a lot of you guys do already, since I'm kind of in the early stages of this, and you probably know me personally if you're following me. You know that I was going to go to Austin, Texas, probably about a year ago now, maybe a little less than that. But I was going to go to Austin, Texas once I had graduated from USF. I was going to go out there and do some technology sales and just try and kind of live my life out there and see what happened. But that didn't really work out. And the reason that didn't work out is mostly because of the virus, the coronavirus. I use that as a little bit of an excuse, although that is the primary reason that I didn't go, just because the city, Austin, that I wanted to go to wasn't open, as well as I wasn't really able to find a job or an apartment or anything out there, with everything just being closed as I was going to go. So with that being said, all the goals that I had set had revolved around going there, what I was going to do, and then how I was going to make it, on my own in Austin. So I had to do a little bit of revising, and that's kind of why I thought it was important to share that with you guys, because a lot of people are scared to set goals in the first place. And if you don't set goals, you're not going to have a direction, and you're not going to be going anywhere, which is not good. So you need to have goals, even if they're changing. You know what I mean? And writing them down is the best way to solidify that you're going to do those goals, or at least you're going to move in a positive direction. And so writing your goals down is very important. So I just kind of wanted to share my goals with you guys a little bit. How I do it anyway is every 3 to 6 months or so, I kind of go on my computer and change them and adapt them to my current situation. So right now, these are my goals from about 6 months ago. I've got goals for 2021. Obviously, that's already passed. But I do have things written down for 2022 on there, as well as 2025, and then 2030, and so on. But those are just my goals. If you notice, I do color code them, and I do kind of organize them a certain way. And so that was another thing I really thought was important to share with you guys, was how to organize your goals. And that is this way. So the way I organize my goals is I have these different categories here. So I've got career, financial, personal development, spiritual, educational, relationships, physical, and health. And then I try and do them now, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and so on. So that's how I organize my goals. And you don't have to, you can do it however you want, but that's how I organize my goals. And I think that's, the best kind of way is to categorize them and then figure out how you want to get there by setting goals for the future and then working your way back, figuring out what path you need to take to get to the goals that you want to achieve. And like I said, I had these goals set in to go to Austin to do all these different things, didn't really pan out. And so I kind of had to adapt my goals, change them around a little bit, and make them, accurate for what I'm doing right now. So right now I'm still in Florida. I'm still living in Florida, in the Tampa area or Seminole area. And I had to kind of figure out what I wanted to do first. And so that's important to you guys too, is to kind of figure out not necessarily what you want to do now or what you want to be doing in a year even, is what you want to be doing in 10 years or 15 years. Is try and think about, let's just go through the categories. So as far as a career goes, right, if you're thinking about what you want to be doing in 10 years, let's think, career. Do you want to be working at a job? Do you want to be your own boss? Do you want to have your own business? What do you want to be doing with your career? Set those goals for 10, 15 years, work your way back, figure out how you need to get there. For financial, same thing. If you want to be, let's just say 10 years from now, you're like, I want to have $100,000 saved, just for a round number. Well, in order to do that, you have to start saving now and continue to build that up. So, you have to set your goals accordingly. And you've got personal development, which could be anything. I have a lot of reading stuff on there and different things like that, just because I want to be better at reading. Spiritual, So that could be anything. If you're a religious person, if you're into Christianity or whatever other religion you're into, you can set goals for that. You can also set spiritual goals. Like for me, I use meditation. So I like to meditate for about 10 or 15 minutes every morning, and that's one of my goals. Educational. If you're trying to set educational goals and you think that you don't need education anymore, you are sadly mistaken, because you never stop learning. And if you think just because you're graduating college or high school or something that you're not going to continue education, then you might not do very well in the world. So it's important to have educational goals. It can be anything you want, though. You know, it could be taking a class at the community college that you're interested in, maybe joining a group, or maybe doing like a Toastmasters thing if you want to learn public speaking or something. It could be anything, but education, it's important. Relationships. So relationships are pretty self-explanatory. I usually break it down into my family relationships, and then my friend relationships, and my romantic relationships. So where I'd like to be with those 3 different types of relationships. And then the last one here is physical and health. I tend to put this more towards the gym, but you can do it however you want. Like say you wanted to eat a little bit healthier diet-wise, if you wanted to maybe take a walk in the morning every day or something, anything really. It could be, as long as it's, you know, kind of fitting in these categories. Like I said, you can do it however you want. These are just how I do mine. And the thing is with setting goals is they're inevitably going to change. You can't ever really keep your goals the exact same. So if you're going to change your goals, then look at what you already have, you know, see if you do want to continue doing a lot of those things, and then maybe just make small adjustments to tailor the path that you're taking to get to those final goals. For me though, some of those major goals have changed. So rather than going to Austin, I have to adapt my goals now to staying here. I'll probably get into real estate soon and start doing that, and that'll probably cause me to stay here in Florida for about another year or 2 at least. You know, I'm not really sure what the future holds, but I've adapted to that. My new goals involve, you know, selling real estate, selling houses, and so along with that, that's the primary thing that's changed. The other things haven't really changed too much. So like my spiritual goals of meditation and things like that, my physical goals for dieting and meal prepping and going to the gym and things like that haven't changed. So really the primary thing that's changed for me is the career part. But I just think it's important to set those goals, write them down, evaluate them after time, and continue to, you know, change them and mold them to whatever path you're trying to go down. Right, so things change, so you have to adapt and improvise and overcome on those obstacles that present themselves in your life on your path to your goals. So it's inevitable. You have to roll with those punches and those changes and kind of adapt with them. And so the last thing I just kind of wanted to talk about with that is the importance of those goals changing, and the reason that is so fundamentally important to understand is because when goals change and you're forced to reassess them and then write them down again and change them and figure out what you're going to do, it makes you grow and it makes you into a better person. It makes you kind of fail in a sense. You know how failure kind of is the best way to succeed. Well, setting goals and then not necessarily reaching them and changing them is kind of a failure in a sense, in my opinion anyway. And so it kind of forces you to grow that way. I wouldn't necessarily think of them like a failure because you're still succeeding on the greater path, but you are kind of failing in a sense by not achieving those goals fully. So you are going to learn a lot. You're going to realize what went wrong or what didn't, what you want to do in the future to fix those things, and then how to better set goals so that you can reach those goals. And then also if there's a reason that they change. So maybe you had like a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something, and you were in that relationship and that caused your goals to be one direction, right? Well then, say you maybe broke up with them or something happened, and now you're kind of trying to figure out what to do now. You might need to recalibrate and go a different direction. And so that can be an immense opportunity to learn about yourself and about what you want to be doing and where you want to be going. And that all kind of stems from setting new goals. Because basically every new set of goals that you do is like a checkpoint. So let's just, for instance, say that you set new goals every 6 months. Well, every 6 months you're checkpointing yourself in life. So it's hard to go backwards. It's hard to take a step back or fall backwards at all when you're constantly getting new checkpoints and you're constantly reaching something and then setting new stuff and then reaching something and setting new things. Like you're always moving forward in a positive direction. So having those little checkpoints by setting those goals every 6 months or so, it allows you to to feel comfortable and secure in the future risks or in the future endeavors that you're gonna do, because you know that you've got these goals set up. You can see your path, you can see where you were going and why you were going that direction, and hopefully when you read those goals that you've set, or that you start, you know, looking at them, it kind of starts like a process in your head of thinking that says, oh, I had set my goals to this, like I had wanted to do this is something that I felt passionate about at one time, like why did it go away, or what happened? And then a lot of the times, for me anyway, when I look at my old goals, it kind of stimulates me, makes me think of new goals, and then makes me want to continue to reach older goals that I kind of maybe pushed aside or something. So just in general, setting goals is awesome. It's really great, helps you get a lot of stuff done, makes you feel better, makes you a better person. And honestly, I don't think I know anybody that's really successful that doesn't set goals. I don't think I know a single person. So, I mean, like, take it how you will, but if you intend on being successful and you want to grow and be a successful person someday, I would seriously consider writing down your goals. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you learned something. I had a good time. I love talking about goals and setting new goals myself, so I had a good time doing this video. And if you guys had any questions, or if there was something that I didn't cover or something that you want me to go in depth about, then just leave a comment or send me a message on Instagram at Landshark Lifestyle, send me an email or something at landsharklifestyle@protonmail.com. Just reach out to me if you have anything that you want to talk about or you want me to cover. But hopefully these goal setting tactics help a little bit. So please, please, please write those goals down. Please just get the categories together, however you want to do it. Write your goals down. Maybe do like a 1 year, a 5 year, and a 10-year goal. And I promise you'll feel better afterwards. You're going to feel like you're on your path to success. And it's going to become a pattern for you if you continue to do it, and you're going to be immensely successful. I promise. Like, if you set these goals, you will be successful. I promise.